Across these plains and prairies, Rocky Mountain highs fade off into the distance like ghost riders in the sky. Black smoke and white line, still horses side.
All right, all right, all right. A little bit of coffee in me. It is currently 4:45 in the morning, Central Time. We are sitting in Brooklyn, Iowa, getting ready to go make delivery on this truck chassis we picked up on Friday. On Friday, we got that box truck delivered. Actually was on site, took it off the trailer, had it parked there, was reconnected, all done, waiting for them to get there. They rolled up, signed the paperwork, and off I went. Ran over, picked up his truck chassis. You guys have seen 100 of these truck chassis. This particular one, there's something special about it, but you guys have seen these truck chassis so many times. I didn't bother filming. But we'll walk around here, do my pre-trip real quick. The rest of my lights on here. All right. There we are, right there. Like I said, we're sitting in Brooklyn, Iowa. We are a couple hours from delivery. The lights are all blinking. Everything's working back here. That is not working. Well, I don't think it matters. We're not gonna need it right now anyways. Lights are working. Tires are good. Securement's good. Flashers are flashing. I cleaned up the front of this trailer very good yesterday. I stopped and got Ghost in the trailer a bath yesterday. Whew, that exhaust is hot. All right, well. Alright, all the hard stuff was out of the way earlier. That's just making one real quick trip around again. Make sure everything works. We are going to get out of here. We're going to go make delivery on this, and then then we got something pretty cool after that. Looks like this truck chassis will be the last one this trailer hauls, so talk to y'all in a minute. Going on, guys. Whew, today was an exciting day. Exciting and sad, and I don't know what the right words are right now, but exciting mostly. So what we had going on is you saw the truck chassis just a minute ago. We got that delivered in Scranton, Scranton, Iowa. And at about 7:30, 8 o'clock this morning, we got that one delivered and ran over to Manchester, Iowa. And there is something about Manchester, Iowa. If you're a truck driver, you might know it, especially if you're a heavy haul or specialized driver. There's something about Manchester, Iowa you might know, and that is the home of XL Trailer. XL Specialized Trailers, probably one of the top names in the manufacturing of specialized trailers for RGN, heavy haul, trailers in general. They make an extremely good product. So we're making some moves here. A&H is making some moves with me personally that I think are going to be fantastic, and we're stepping up the game a little bit, trying to step into a different realm. So this is going to be kind of neat. I am no longer I can't say that I'm teaching anybody anything. Certainly I'm going to be I'll still be talking about securement, and I'll still be talking about the over-dimensional portions of my loads. And that is something that I'm very versed with, and I'm extremely knowledgeable with the over-dimensional side. The weight, I've been working in weight for about 4 or 5 years now, so I'm fairly new to the whole weight thing. So we're going to be learning this together. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to take you guys along for this journey for the next however long. But we traded in the Fontaine today. We traded in the 40-ton manual detached Fontaine, and we hooked ourselves up with a hydraulic quad axle, air assisted third axle lift, 55-ton lowboy RGN. This is actual RGN, not a lowboy. So I got parked here at this. I have a pickup in Wisconsin, believe it or not. Even though I just picked up this trailer today, I went ahead and got a load for tomorrow morning. We're going to put something on it and see what happens. I'm loading out of Wisconsin, and I'm not even going to try to say their name. I'm probably just going to murder the city that I'm going to in Wisconsin. But I'm picking up in Wisconsin. It's about 3/4 of the way north between Milwaukee and Green Bay, closer to Green Bay than Milwaukee. So that's where we'll be picking up tomorrow morning. Tried to make it there today. I was hoping to make it today, but that's not going to happen. So I ended up stopping at this little quick trip fuel stop for truck drivers, for trucks and the cars as well. But I pulled in here and there's no truck parking. So it says no overnight parking, and mainly because their parking lot's not big enough. But luckily enough, right beside it was a small building, and then there's a tractor or a trailer truck bed supply company next door, and it's all gravel lot right here. So I managed to catch a guy right outside here, and he was like, yeah dude, I don't mind if you park there overnight, because my pickup is 18 minutes from here, and there's just nowhere else to go. So pretty cool of him, allowed me to park here for the night, just sitting here in this gravel right next to the quick trip. So I'll be able to go in the morning, brush my teeth, grab some coffee, whatever, get something to eat. So that's good. So I figured out I'll get out now and show you this particular load we've got. There's no load at all, but I'll show you guys the new trailer. So now the trailer was supposed to be the second part of what we're doing here, and it turned out the trailer ended up as the first part, sort of. The first part that we're able to use anyways. The other part is coming, and it is just a matter of time. We're having some issues with that, and I would imagine within a couple weeks here that will be ironed out, and the whole part of this will be moving forward with it. So here we go. I'll take you out and show you the trailer. This is a pretty nice trailer, man. Gonna make my life pretty easy. What we got here, and there she is. This is an XL Specialized 55-ton RGN tri-axle. As you can see, third axle is air-assisted lift. The quad axle, the flip, this, because I'm spoiled freaking rotten, This is a hydraulic flip rear axle. I don't have to do anything. It's so nice except for push a lever. What I have found, from picking this thing up today, what I have found is XL is really good at making these things very simple to use. There's nothing super complicated about running this trailer. Everything is real easy. All out in the open, very easy to figure out. They label everything real well, so that's something I really appreciate, and something that I can say I've been impressed with thus far. Obviously, I just picked it up today. I've only owned the thing for about 3 hours now, so we're gonna find out over long term how this goes. But XL is a pretty good name. Everybody that uses them is pretty happy with them. So what we got here is we are a hydraulic, all hydraulic setup. Finally, not crawling underneath the trailer anymore. This thing has 2 kingpin settings. It's got right now it's in the 84-inch kingpin setting. They call it a swing setting, and that is the swing back here, the clearance you have to make your turns. There's an 84-inch setting, and then again there's a 110-inch setting. Originally the kingpin was sitting in, and you can see it up there. There's just a hole right there. There's the kingpin right there. Once I'm detached from that, you can just pick that thing up, move it to the front hole, and lock into the front hole. And there's a huge benefit to that for when you're starting to add weight to it and run heavy, and the loads that we're going to be able to haul, we're going to need to do that every now and then. But right now, we didn't need to do it. So I'm running in the 84-inch hole, 84-inch setting. This trailer comes with both hydraulic. It's got a hydraulic setup that if you have a pony motor on your truck, you can connect right in and use the pony motor on your truck, or you connect these lines right to the front, and that runs off the pony motor back here. All the controls for the pony motor and everything are right here. Pretty simple. Put your key in, pull your choke out, start the motor, get the throttle going, and it will lift the hydraulics for you. Lift it up. This thing has 5 ride sight. Right now I'm sitting in the 4th one, only because being in the 84-inch kingpin setting, this neck was leaning forward when it was down on the highest setting, which was causing this part of the trailer to be lower than the fender. So when I made a turn, I was going to end up rubbing these fenders, and I didn't want to do that. So I ended up just running the hydraulics up and putting it in one of the lower settings. This thing has 5 of these. We're in the 4th one right now to get us level up there. And that I can adjust that by moving the 5th wheel. There's a lot of different things you can do here. One of the cool features they added to these things this year is this work light. That thing is super bright. That's going to be really helpful in the evenings when I'm trying to get hooked up to the trailer. If I'm doing it in the dark, being able to see the trailer itself and get lined up and everything. So very simple to use. Again, pony motor, they tucked the pony motor inside here. There's a pony motor, gas motor. I ended up having to buy a little gas can and put some gas in it. So that's where our pony motor is, pretty simple. Here is your pivot points right here. The hydraulic cylinders are back here, and they work off the pivot point. So when you're raising and lowering, it's pivoting this part of the neck with that part while it's lifting up on the trailer, lifting everything up and setting everything down. So it's a very simple process, very easy to use. This one, obviously, it comes with front ramps. No more craziness trying to get something to back up on the trailer or pull up on the trailer. One of the other features I like about XL is they put the chain hooks in the deck. They do have the D-rings on the side, the bent D-rings, but they also put the chain hooks in the, I imagine I will be using these a lot more than I'm using the D-rings, I would think. Same thing with Fontaine, we got outriggers. These things are serious. These are some big old outriggers. They're nice and wide. They also have 4 of them in there. Those are set in to go right here. And then they have another one halfway back right here. And the reason for those is those are 4 inches wide. So that is your break point where your board should be. If you get the right size boards, that's where the end of your boards will meet up, so that you don't have that spot where it wants to tip down when you're driving across it. So that's a great idea and pretty cool. Pretty cool they put them in there. Obviously I haven't used them yet, and we'll see how they work, but my outrigger boards are 8 foot long. So now, because of where the outrigger boards are stowed, I'll be able to get longer outrigger boards, wider, and just sit them in the middle, and I'll be able to just pull them out to the side. So that's going to work out really well. Trailer came with what they call a toolbox in the center where you can store things. It's got the cutout in the rear of the trailer. We're cut out for excavator arms to tuck down in here. This is what they call a bucket well. So the bucket will be able to tuck down in here a little bit further, get you a little bit lower, so you're not fighting with being over height all the time. So we got the drivable rear fenders. These are the heavy duty ones that you can drive and park on. Most of the time you're going to want to drive over top of them and park on the baluster, but these ones you could park on if you wanted to. They're heavy duty. Got securement points back here as well. That's super cool. They also have D-rings down inside the well that you'll be able to hook to. I can use to hook an excavator arms or whatever. I can use those spots to be able to hook to there. They have tie down points at every baluster. And here's the controls for the rear axle. This lift axle is as simple as flipping this switch right here. You can lift the axle up off the ground. Obviously you see it's not on the ground. Lift the axle up off the ground, so when you're running empty like I am now, it is really simple. Hydraulically, you just pick that thing up, put it there, flip that switch, lift this up off the ground, and there's 2 axles you're not wearing out the tires with. Pretty nice setup. Look at the back. Obviously got the strobes on the back of the trailer, strobe switches inside there. Here is the pins that hold the axle once it's flipped down. Those are also air. You just flip a button, those things pop out. You flip your axle, hit the button again, they pop right back in. So very little effort. Very little effort you as a driver have to put into being able to use this trailer, and you get in a situation where you need your other axle down. It's very simple to do. Boasting a 22-inch deck height. I wasn't crazy about that. I was trying not to lose my 18-inch deck height, but I also wanted the 55-ton versus a 40-ton. So if you want a 55-ton, you can find them with an 18-inch deck height, but it's a little more tricky to find them. So this was the best deal we could find for what we got. I had to give up a couple things, but I gained more than I lost, so that I'm happy with. I did give up a little bit of deck height. As I said, this thing loads out 22 inches, but remember it has 5 ride height settings, so you can play with the height of that thing when you got a high load on. Also, the back axles also have the same, not quite as simple as the front, but it's pretty easy too. You can adjust the ride height on the back axles as well with a simple move of a lever. This I was super impressed with. I'll show you guys. This lever right here, if you want it, there's 5 hole, I think there's 6 holes there behind it in that plate. You just pull this little lever out right here, pull it out and move it to whichever hole you want. If you go down, that lowers the air. If you go up, it raises the air. So very simple to use. That only works if you have your third axle on the ground. If you want your third axle to be up in the air like this, you got to be running it in the middle or higher ride height, which gives you a whole bunch of ground clearance. So that pretty cool feature that I'm sure I'm going to be using with the 22-inch deck height. I'm so used to loading an 18-inch deck height. With this 22, I'm sure that little switch right there, that little button, going to come in pretty handy. So what do you think? You guys want to see this? Want to see that hydraulic flip do its thing? Well, here's what we got to do. Man, My hand's all dirty. I'm gonna end up getting my pants dirty. Getting my keys out. All right, so here's the keys. Got our pony motor running. Go up here, push this lever. Now the pins are in right. I don't want to put it all the way down because the pins are in right now, so that'll end up hurting something. I don't want to do that, but I wanted to show you guys how easy that is. That is absolutely ridiculously easy. And if I want to flip it back up, there it is. Run on throttle down. Turn the motor off. That's all there is to it. That is exactly how you raise and lower the neck too. You fire up the pony motor, then you use your cylinders here to raise and lower your neck. There's a hydraulic arm right there. That comes down, so remember how I used to have to stick the board in? Used to have to throw that 6x6 in order to be able to detach. No more of that. It's got an arm that comes down, locks to the frame of the trailer and just holds that neck up while I'm detaching. So also has an air pin. So once I'm detached away, I just pull that, push that button back in, the pin pops down, and I can just back right up and it'll automatically lock into place. Once it gets to it, it'll just pop right in. Super cool feature. I did hear from some XL guys that they have a little bit of trouble with that pin popping in, and they gave me some tricks on how to get around that, but super excited about the trailer, super excited about using it, and we definitely did an upgrade. Not gonna lie, I feel a little bad about leaving the Fontaine there. She looked kind of lonely sitting back there in the back row where I parked her and left her, all cleaned off. That trailer's been a good trailer to me, so I felt kind of bad for about a minute, but I do think that this trailer is gonna give us so much more capacity, so much more ability, and allow us to do so many more things. We're gonna jump right here from a 6-axle setup with the Fontaine trailer. We're jumping right into being right now it's a 7-axle with ghost hooked to it, but there's the second part. We have a quad axle tractor sitting there waiting on me. A Peterbilt 389. I'll put up a picture of it right here. It is sitting there waiting on me. We are just waiting on the title to it. It's at the shop, ready to go. Just waiting on a title so we can get it decaled, get the license plates for it and everything, and then we will be hooking this to this. So we will jump from a 6-axle setup to an 8-axle setup, just like that. That is gonna make a big difference. Definitely required this trailer. We can haul 55 tons and 12 feet, so this trailer is actually rated for 110,000 pounds at 12 feet. So we can do a lot with it. With the 8 axles, we'll be able to permit somewhere in the 160,000 pound range, give or take a little bit, depending on what state you're in. Now, the weight of the trailer, she's heavy. I did do an empty weight today. After I got hooked to it, I took it right to a scale, got an empty weight, and I'll stick that scale ticket up. She's heavy. And of course, the quad axle tractor that's back at the yard there, once we hook it to it and start running it, we're gonna get even heavier. So I think right now, the scale ticket, as you just saw, the scale ticket said we are running about 49,000, 49.6, I think, just under 50,000 pounds empty, the way we're sitting right now. With the new truck hooked to it, another axle, double frame, 20,000 pound front, it's a true heavy haul truck. I would imagine we're gonna be, if we're under 60, if we're closer to 57 than 60, I'll be impressed, I'll be happy. I think we're going to be somewhere near 60,000. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see. That will still allow us, even though it's 60,000 pounds, that's still going to allow us to be able to put 100,000 pounds on the trailer. A little tricky to scale, but there's a lot of things you can do with this setup and that setup with the other truck There's a lot of different things you can do to shift weight around to different axles, and it's no more of this stuff that I've had to do in the past. You guys have heard me where I just shove everything to the back because that's where the weight needs to be. That's not the case anymore. We're going to be able to move this weight around. Right now, we're still going to be probably shoving it to the back because we're still working on a tandem axle truck. But that will, once we get the quad axle truck and have another axle under there, that is going to kind of go away, and it'll be more of a balancing act to get in between the rear axles, front axles. Again, having the quad axle, we're still going to want to shove some weight to the back because we've got 4 back there and 4 up here. So it's still going to be, you're still going to see us, you know, trying to put some weight to the back, but it'll be a little less than what it used to be. It used to be, which is going to be a little trickier for me too, because now, you know, it was very simple for me to load, very mindless basically for me to load. Is, hey, shove it to the back, all the way to the back, go as far as you can to the back. That's where we need to be. Go back, go back, go back. That's not going to be the case anymore. We're going to be more or less trying to put the weight in the middle, trying to get the balance right, and that is tricky when you're trying to figure out what is heavy and what is not about a machine, an excavator, a bulldozer, where the weight's going to be, where it's going to sit on the trailer. There's going to be a whole lot more watching my gauges, looking at my gauges, and trying to figure out where my axles are. And that is where you and I are going to learn together, because that is not something that I am super familiar with. I'm not going to say that I'm an expert at it by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think I'm going to be teaching anybody anything unless I'm learning it with you. So that'll be cool. It'll be a good time, and I'm excited to take you guys along on this journey with me. And this is it's going to be a good thing in a terrible rate. You know, we all know, we all have seen the news, we all have talked to truck drivers, we all have friends that are probably truck drivers. So the rates are terrible right now. The market is just terrible right now. So this was a little bit, it may seem dumb. You guys may seem like, Brett, what are you doing? Like, why would you spend that kind of money on a new truck and a new trailer with that much capacity in a terrible market? And you're right, you're 100% right. It seems very dumb for me to have done that right now. However, I spoke with Bill, the owner of A&H. We had long conversations about this. We've had months to mull this over and figure out what the best thing is. And the bottom line is, what it comes down to is this setup, I'm still going to be able to do what I'm doing now. And I'm pretty happy, and I'm making decent money doing what I'm doing right now. So in the meantime, I will be able to get the word out that I have an 8-axle setup now, and that I have more capacity, I have more ability. Get my name out there to different agents and different associates, different places, and try to build relationships with customers, and try to build relationships with agents and brokers and everything else to get my name and get my ability seen out there in the market, so that and I would think I'm going to be able to have that done and have built those relationships and those contacts and made a name for myself in the 8-axle world by the time the market turns around. Then once the market turns around, boom, I'm in good shape. I've made those relationships, I've proven myself, I've done what I needed to do to get everybody's confidence and get their desire to call me when they got a load that they need moved. And then the market turns around, the rates start going back up, I will hopefully be the go-to guy, or at least on the list of go-to guys. So that was the thought process here, even though it seems kind of, like I said, kind of crazy in this terrible market to make the move that we made right here. Personally, we're going to find out. Personally, I think it's genius. I think it's a smart choice. I think it's the way to go. We're going to see if I'm right or not. What I do know is I'm going to bust my butt, and I'm going to hustle, and I'm going to do what I always do to try to get this, to make this thing successful. And I think effort will prove everything, I think. And I'm certainly willing to put the effort in, and we're going to see what happens. So there you go, guys. That is well, now you know the big secret. The big secret is new trailer, got a new truck coming. Ghost will be going back into, well, not back into it, but Ghost will be going into our flatbed fleet at A&H. Probably be running a quad axle or tri-axle Conestoga trailer, running steel, local Cleveland area. Somebody's gonna be real happy. They're gonna get a darn nice truck. So Ghost will still be around. You just won't see it quite as much. that probably won't happen for the next couple weeks. But the cool part is once I get the new truck and you guys get a chance to meet it and see it, and we're gonna have a naming war. So truck needs a name, right? So we're gonna, once we get into the new truck and you guys get a chance to see it on a few different episodes and see what it's capable of, and maybe it'll earn its name. We'll see what happens. There has been a couple names already thrown out for people that already know that it's coming. There's been a couple names already thrown out there, and they may end up being the ones, but we're gonna see what happens. I'm not gonna count it out yet. I'm not gonna put a name to it just yet, but I'm super excited. I can't be more excited about what the future holds for myself, for A&H, for the specialized program at A&H. I believe that this was the right move, and I believe it's going to be a major benefit and will be a force to be reckoned with here in a few months. So that being said, I appreciate everybody watching. Stay tuned. We're going to load up our first load tomorrow morning. Not heavy, not anything that requires a trailer, but it fits the bill for what I got, and we'll talk about that tomorrow when I get it picked up. So until then, guys, everybody stay safe out there, and I appreciate you watching. Have a great night.